I'm Ian Rush and you're watching the Red Men TV.
Well, there you go, Liverpool fall 2-0 to Arsene Wenger's Arsenal side at Anfield in the early kick-off on Sunday. Before I tear a new one into the game, let's have a look at some Facebook comments. Stephen Hill says, toothless. The only threat came from the youngest player on the pitch. Shelvey and Downing made a bit of difference, but not enough. The sun must be shining off Rayner's elbow head and into his eyes. Third mistake in a week. Unacceptable. But we move on. James Ruidri Taylor every week struggles. Massive overreaction to a loss. Players like Sahin need more time. I don't think dropping Rayner and Gerrard will improve the team. Bring back Owen. Fuck off. Richard Weber says, that's what we get when we don't buy a striker. Simple as. And to the point, yes. Matt Smith says, Howard Webb, just fuck right off. Yeah, Jordan Everett, simply 3 words, technically 1, repeated 3 times. Poor. And to round us up, Cuz Vince says, the worst part is that there's no hope of things getting better in the future. No understanding, no coherence, no speed, no creativity, no pressure, no bite, no passion, no intelligence, no determination, no spirit, no quality, nothing. Well, Vince, or Cuz Vince, do on, mate. I'm sorry, but what? I'm sorry, I'm going to quote this correctly. The worst part is that there's no hope of things getting better in the future. Are you on crack? Are you seriously on crack? Honestly, and you know what? I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat the performance, because the performance was fucking woeful. Steven Gerrard and Luis Suarez look like they were playing in the fucking new school shoes. Didn't want to scuff them up before fucking school starts tomorrow. Poor performance from the pair of them. They both need to buck their ideas up big time, otherwise we are going to be in serious shit this season. But the idea that it's not going to get better, short memories, people have very short memories in football. This time last year, people were talking about Arsenal getting relegated after Man United spanked them 8-2. Doom and gloom, Arsene Wenger was the worst manager the world had ever seen. Arsenal was shit. They only had 1 decent centre forward, 1.5 if you want to count Mano and Shamak, and I know most people won't. And they said, well, you know, they've not got enough going for them attack, and they play too much passing football, no penetration, no goals. And what happened? They finished 3rd in the league. No, I'm not suggesting for a single second that we're going to finish 3rd. The fact of the matter is, you know, at the start of the summer we were talking about 3 years to get ourselves back in the Champions League. And then what? We sign a couple of decent players, we get rid of a few bits of shit, and people start thinking, well, we played decent against Man City, and we played decent against Gomel in the second leg, and people start going, we're definitely getting into the top 4 this season. Calm the fuck down. You know what? It wasn't a lie. It wasn't bullshit. It's not fucking spin. We've said we've got to be in for the long haul. We're looking to rebuild something from the fucking ground up. We tried to bounce back into the Champions League by throwing money at a problem, and it didn't work because we bought shit players by all accounts. Like, you mean, and you know, I hate saying that because the players we bought weren't shit. They just obviously didn't step up to the plate, and they didn't do what we required of them in the last couple of seasons. Okay, Christian Poulsen was shit, but that notwithstanding, Joe Cole, notwithstanding, maybe Charlie Adam, but you get, you take my point. Look, the fact of the matter is, we're starting off, we're trying to be a passing side. We want to be this tiki-taka, you know, passing, I want to say tiki-taka bullshit, but I won't. Tiki-taka passing side. We've come up against the best passing side in the Premier League today. A side that have been doing it, and it's been intrinsically inbred into every single one of them players, with the exception of the new boys. Coming through the ranks and what have you. It's the way Arsene Wenger likes to play football. We've been, you know, people have been singing the praises of the way they play football for years and years and years. Okay, and then what? They bring it to Anfield and we go toe to toe against them, and you know what? They play better than us. They didn't play miles better than us. If you're an Arsenal fan watching this, and if you think that's the finished product for you, you're going to be in deep shit this season as well, because that was not a vintage Arsenal performance by any stretch. But look, the fact of the matter is, they've got Lucas Podolski on the pitch, crops up in the right place at the right time, scores a goal. Pepe Reina, yes, a bit of a fucking howler at his near post for Santi Cazorla, but it's a great bit of football in the build. Exactly what we didn't quite click for us today. But the signs were still there. There were still some positives to be taken. You know, it's a shame. It's going to boil down to this idea that we didn't buy a centre forward on the last day of the season. Now, of course, there's that's there. That's a big fuck off, huge fucking absent elephant in the room. And apparently Brendan Rodgers said after the game that by all accounts, if he'd known we weren't going to get a replacement, he might have considered not letting Andy Carroll go. So at least we know the manager fucking understands. All this talk about getting free transfers in, I don't know. I mean, here's one for you, and I'm not saying I would or I wouldn't, but Michael Owen, interested? Yeah, thought not. Anyway, but the fact of the matter is, you can't just say, well, we didn't buy centre forward, therefore we're fucked. Fact of the matter is, with Luis Suarez, Fabio Borini and Raheem Sterling, with Steven Gerrard behind, we should have been able to cause more problems than we did, and we didn't, because as I mentioned at the top of the show, Luis Suarez and Steven Gerrard were playing in their fucking kickers or the Doc Martens, and obviously didn't want to have to repolish them before, because the touch was, both of the touch was fucking awful. How wasteful the pair of them were in the final third. Gerrard definitely worked a lot harder toward the end, but by then the game was beyond us, I thought. And the problem is, it's 2-0 down. The way that we're meant to be set up, we're meant to just stick to this system, stick to the formation and just keep plugging away. But because it's still very fresh in the players' mind, it's still very much a new idea, you could see the heads went there, because we wanted to rush things, we wanted to throw things down the pitch, and of course, when you've not got an attacking option to bring on, and this is what it boils down to, is, you know, you bring Stuart down on, he was average, wasn't he? But then again, I thought Borini created a few little moments of havoc, but didn't quite have the end product in the first half. What can you do? It surprised me that we didn't have like a Morgan on the bench. Now I know he played on Thursday, but so did a lot of that side, or someone from the academy, because you've got, it baffles me that maybe it's a power play from Rodgers. Maybe he's sending a message to Ian Ayre, to the owners and coach saying, well, look, this is what you've left me with, because you weren't able to complete the business on deadline day, or the weeks and months that we had before that. I don't know. Anyway, look, you know, the fucking game's done, it's dusted. We've got a week off now for international football. Amazing. Hopefully we can chill out, we can remind ourselves how shit football can be by watching England, and come back refreshed and recharged in time for Sunderland. We're going to discuss this transfer window debacle in length and in depth on this week's subscriber show. We discussed Steven Gerrard and his future, another poor performance, so it's even more pertinent now. That was on the current subscriber show.
Brilliant. Think back to that season when he was actually player of the year, playing on the right.
Yeah.
You know, so I think we still get something out of him. Definitely, I think he's still a class player. I think personally, I'd use him sparingly, but just because you know, given his injury record, given his age, and I know like he did that interview and he said, you know, I'm as fit as I've ever been, and like the sort of,
he's not saying he's dead fit. He's just saying I was injury prone.
I'm not sure the thing. No, no, but he was sort of saying the sports scientists are still saying my figures are up there and all the rest of it, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know how. I'm sure he's not blagging, but I just think, like, you know, given the other players we've got in the squad now, and we've got a lot of midfielders and stuff like that, I just think we use them sparingly and use them when we have to, and maybe use them in other positions. Like, you know, it was refreshing for me to see him used down and at left back, because I hate this thing about, like, when people like get really ingrained in a position and say, oh, he can only play that. Why? He's a footballer. What, you know what I mean? Can't he be more flexible? And like, I think Gerrard can definitely do a range of roles, and there's definitely a place for him in the team.
Want to check it out? It's free for a month, and it's £2 a month after that if you can be asked. It's free via PayPal for a month, so do check that out. It's funny, we're quite light-hearted, not as dour as we are today anyway, and as I say, next week we will be looking in depth into Liverpool's transfer dealings. Has it been a good summer? Has it been a shit one? Should we believe the negative hype coming out of the back of the deadline window closing? Who knows? Join us for that show. That'll be online Wednesday night, and part 2 will be on Thursday on www.theredmentv.com. Hope to see you there. If not, I'll see you in 2 weeks time for Sunderland. Amazing. Good night.